Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. This morning I am just kind of taking a quiet morning. During the summer, my business hours kind of get just a little bit crazy. I have 3 kids, so while they're home in the summer, we are busy doing summer projects. And my business does tend to slow down a little bit in the summer, and I think part of that is because my business is primarily a local run business. So a lot of my clients are also busy running around with their kids or doing summer activities. So business does get a little bit slow for me, but honestly, that is the way I like it because I just don't think I could keep up if it was booming the way it does during the school year. But anyways, my children are at a day camp today with our church, with our children's pastor. So I have a few hours, which are quickly dwindling on me because I did have to meet up with a client this morning who brought over a dress for some alterations because I do dabble in alterations. I wouldn't call myself a seamstress by any means, although other people do. I don't consider myself a seamstress, but I do a few alterations. So that took up quite a bit of my quiet morning, so that was disappointing. But anyways, so I'm just taking some time this morning to kind of reflect over my business and think about just kind of what I want to share with y'all about this journey. So part of this video right now is just I would love to have your input. So if you could just comment in the section below this video and please let me know some of the things that you are looking for in learning from me about how to run a business. I will say right out the door, I do not have an Etsy shop. I never have had an Etsy shop, and I have no idea how to run Etsy. So that's out. I'm sorry. I can't help you there. It's something that I've considered doing maybe in the future, but at this point, it's far future. It's not something that I feel the need to open up and do right now. Also, I do not have a Shopify. My business is run solely by word of mouth, local orders, and through Facebook. So if you would like to know, and I do have some ideas that I am currently working on coming up with for y'all, but I would just like to know if there's anything specific that you would like me to cover in those videos, please let me know. But just really quick today, I just kind of wanted to have like a real one-on-one talk with y'all and just let you know kind of where I'm at in my headspace this summer. So yeah, so my business is basically had started on Facebook and through word of mouth. And I am as busy as I want to be completely honest. There's a little bit of local competition. There are 2 shops, like actual business shops in town that do embroidery, but they do the screen printing and they do the transfers and all of that. I don't dabble in any of that. I just do embroidery. So what sets me apart is a lot of my creative embroidery, doing the memory bears. I actually have a memory plant that I will maybe be doing soon. I don't know. The downfall of this is sometimes I'm waiting on clients. They will message me and say that they're going to bring me something, and then I never hear from them, or they get busy. I have this one client who I've had a keychain sitting in my pickup box for ever. Like, I took it out for a while because I was like, okay, she's not going to show up. But then she reached out and said that she wants this memory plant made out of some old clothing. So she said she was going to come on a certain day, or she was going to send her son or something. So the keychain's been sitting out there for about a week because she's going to pick up the keychain and drop off the clothing so I can make this plant. It's going to kind of look like I've got one over there, a real one, a snake plant. It's going to kind of look like that. So I thought that would be interesting and fun. So yeah, so basically whatever my clients come to me and ask me to do, I usually figure out a way that I can make it happen for them. So that sets me apart because I do a lot of that creative embroidery and that kind of thing. What else also sets me apart is I'm willing to take clients' items in to my business and embroider on them. The local shops, they're just selling stuff that they make. So they're supplying all the blanks. They're embroidering the blanks. They're doing the hats and the t-shirts and the business logos and all of that. But I will take clients' things in. So I will often have local businesses even bring me a bunch of scrubs, and I will be putting names on all of the scrubs. I haven't had one of those orders in a while, but it has happened. But my like bread and butter to my business is just baby items, backpacks. I'm about to get a lot of backpacks, so be ready for a few videos on backpacks, lunch boxes. It's July, so, and I hate, like, I always feel like, because I'm originally from the north. I was born and raised in the north in northern New England, born in Connecticut, but raised in Maine. So I'm used to northern culture, really. And then for about the last 4.5 years, we've been living in South Georgia. We absolutely love it. I love the South. I've embraced the culture. Not sure what that notification was, but the school system is run a little bit different. We get out earlier and we go back earlier. So even though it's July and everywhere else in the country, they're like just kicking off their summer, we are getting full swing into back to school mode. So what that means is we've got about 4.5 to 5 weeks left of our summer before we go back to school. So we're basically halfway through. But once you get halfway through, I just feel like it's all over. I feel like, oh my goodness, where'd our summer go? Especially doing this business, because that's when I'm going to start getting all of these orders for back to school. So I'm going to start, people are going to be bringing me their backpacks, and I'm going to be putting their names on them. I've got some baby blankets. I've got one. So this is one order right here. This is a baby like bow, like a sash for a newborn. I'm going to be putting her monogram on that. And then this is her baby blanket that's going to go on her crib. I'm going to put, she has a Labrador symbol that she wants on it, and like a, kind of like a shield, but not a shield. I'm trying to think of what it's called. And a monogram. So I'm going to be doing that. So that is for her personal baby. She's pregnant. This is actually a dear friend of ours. She was my middle daughter's first grade teacher, but we also knew her from church and things like that. So she's a dear, dear friend. So I'm super excited that she's having this baby. And then this is also from her, but not for her. She brought 3 little outfits that she wants a name put on for a friend of hers that's also having a baby. So items have been dropped off. This one's another client who is a baby blanket, and they just want a name put on it. So again, this is my bread and butter, y'all. This is what I'm like, this supplies my business. Some of you may have seen quite a few videos back now. I had that huge order from the school for the cheer sweatshirts. I had like 62 sweatshirts to do. That was super exciting for me, and I wish so badly that could be my norm, right? But that's not my norm. This is my norm. This is my bread and butter. This is what runs my business. And I know that it may not seem worth it, but I promise you that if you are in it for the long haul and to build relationships and to build clientele, this is the route that I've gone. So, and I have slowly raised and increased my prices. I used to do like $10 for a name. I think I'm up to $15 for a name. But here's the thing, that's mostly profit. I mean, I'm using stabilizer and thread and my time. And most names, and I don't charge per stitch because it would be too hard every time a client brings me a name, and sometimes it wouldn't be worth it. If it's like a small name and it's under 5,000 stitches, that's like $5. Guys, that's not worth it for me. I need it to be worth my time. Sorry, I'm getting messages. Let me just close my computer so that ding will maybe stop. So I charge $15 a blanket and a name, and for backpacks as well. And that pretty much covers, if you look at the stitch count of 99% of the names that I'm doing, they are under 5,000 stitches count. So $15 is well covering my cost. And so that's going to cover your thread, that's going to cover your stabilizer, but mainly that's covering your time. The time it takes you to take an item in, to hoop it, to print it out. I will inject a picture right here of this blanket in particular of, I will just screenshot some of our conversation here. But basically what we did was, oh, you're on my computer, so my phone, so I can't look at it. So basically, she reached out to me, asked me if I did blankets, if I could put names on them. I said that I could, and then she brought it to me. This one is a newer client, so she doesn't actually know about my pickup box, and I always try to give them the option of like, I can meet you at the front door, but you got to let me know when you're coming, because a lot of times the question is, where are you located? Well, I work from home, so please let me know that you're coming, because you can't just walk in. I got 3 dogs and 3 kids and 6 chickens, I think. I don't know, the numbers always changing on the chickens. So you can't just show up. That's just not gonna work for me. So you gotta let me know you're coming. So I try to work that all out with them, but I prefer if they use my pickup drop-off box. And that may seem impersonal, but it just is so convenient. It's convenient because they can come at any time, drop off, pick up. I just like, let me know the day. So as long as I know the day, I can make sure your item is out there for you, or I can kind of watch for it. And I don't know if I'm going to do a whole video on it, if I'm going to put it in with one of my other business related videos, but I will walk you guys through my pickup box. It's kind of like a porch pickup, but I don't have porch, so it's on the side road. So, but I will walk you guys through that if you are interested in knowing more about my pickup drop-off box and how I run that. I prefer if they use that, because I hate sitting there waiting at the window because they said they were going to be here at 4 o'clock, and here it is, 4:10, 4:15. They're not here yet, and meanwhile, I'm just trying to keep my kids and my dogs like contained. So I prefer the pickup box. It's just more convenient for me. But I don't mind meeting people too. So I just meet them out my driveway. I watch for them to come down. I've got a long circular driveway. So I just kind of wait and watch for them to come down. And then I run out to their car. They give me their item. And then we kind of talk about, I might ask them like what they're thinking. But then I always assure them, I'm going to send you pictures. I'm going to give you font options. I'm going to give you color options. I'm going to print out a true to size printout for you and put it where I think it's going to go, and then we proof all of that before I stitch. So I've already gotten the final proof for her for this item, so this item is ready to be stitched. I haven't even started on these. We walked through some ideas in the past. The outfits are just going to be a name, so I'm going to send her a bunch of different font options with that name. This is just going to be a monogram, so I will send her my different monograms that I normally use. But this one's going to take me a lot more time to design and work up for her. I'm honestly, I don't think I quoted her any prices yet for the baby blanket. I'm just not sure yet. That one I may wait and see how big it's going to be, but it's also going to take a lot of time because I'm going to have to design it. Probably going to get the pieces from Etsy. I have a few things in the cart on Etsy, and I'm just going to kind of like mesh it all together. So I will get the border. I have all the monograms already. I have all those fonts, but I will get my border font, and I will get the Labrador from Etsy. And then I will, on my program, I will pull up that border. I will put the monogram in it with those fonts that I've picked or we've picked together, and then I'll put the lab somewhere on it, and then I'll print it true to size, and we'll go from there. So this one is going to take a little bit more time, and I will have to try to price accordingly. My gut instinct is just thinking like probably like $20 to $30, and that may even be a little bit low. But again, this is a friend. And I'm just building, I'm always building clientele. As long as I'm treating my customers fairly, then they spread the word of mouth, and I continue to grow my business that way. So that is that. So that is basically what sets me apart, is that I will take your items in. And for me, it simplifies because then I don't have to calculate costs. And there are some things, like I do sweatshirts, I do t-shirts, I do hats a lot of times, and I supply those a lot of times. And so obviously you have to work in your costs. Just in general, I try to get $20 profit for a front design on a t-shirt. That's kind of my like end game. So I kind of try to base my prices accordingly for that, add in the cost, and then usually just like round up to the nearest 5 or nearest 0 or whatever. Yeah, so, and then for a sweatshirt, for just a front design, I'm trying to make at least 30. Not that they're any really harder or more difficult. just kind of based on like what I think people would pay for them, you know. So anyways, and then add-ons. So then like they can add a sleeve design for, usually if I'm doing the front already and I'm already charging for that, I'll add the sleeve design for like between $5 and $10 depending on what it is. And then the side bows, obviously that were super popular last year. And we'll see how the trend goes this year. But those I do $15 a bow. So really it's $30 because who's gonna get one side done? But that's how I price it, is $15 each. So that's just kind of me. I know pricing is difficult, but I just kind of wanted to give you guys a general idea of what I do. So that's what sets me apart. Now, one of the things I've seen in Facebook groups is that people will make their clients sign waivers to take in their items so that if something messes up, they don't have to pay to replace it. Guys, you do you. You do whatever you feel is right, but if you're not willing to replace something that you messed up on, then maybe you shouldn't be taking those items in at all. That's just my personal opinion. I've messed up a few things and I've paid for it, and I've had to take that loss. But I don't make people sign waivers because to me, I need to be confident enough in my ability to take their items in and embroider on them, and I need to know that I'm gonna take care of it for them. And I think to make them sign a waiver is, in my opinion, that just seems unprofessional. But that's just me. I'm not gonna blame my machine for messing up something that I should have been paying attention to, or something I should have made sure I hope. Now, do mistakes happen? Yes, absolutely. But I'm gonna pay the price for it. I'm the business owner. So that's me. That's what sets me apart, is that I will take people's items in and embroider on them. I had one client recently reach out. She's waiting for the backpacks to come in the mail, but she reached out recently, and that was exactly what she said, is that I am the only one local who does this. So I'm like, well, I'm not, but you know, my husband and I were talking, I'm like, well, I'm not the only local embroidery business. There are 2 other businesses that I know of, but they're not going to take your backpacks in and embroider them for you. I'm the only one who's doing that currently right now. She said the next one was like the next town over, like 40 minutes away. So anyway, so that's what sets me apart. But I would love to hear what you would love for me to go more in detail about, and just like how I take orders, maybe how I interact with my clients, how I use my pickup box, how I got started, the whole thing. Please let me know in the comment below what you guys are interested in more in learning. But with that, I'm gonna go ahead and get this blanket done today, hopefully before my kiddos get home, which I basically have about 35 minutes, I think, give or take. So I gotta get to work. But let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear what you guys would like to know more about. I will work on it as quickly as I can, but again, it's summer, y'all, and these videos do take quite a bit of time for me to record and put together for you. But I love doing it because I love interacting with y'all. I love being helpful. I love, like, I needed so much help when I started out, and a lot of times I went to YouTube or I went to the Facebook groups to find that help. So now that I'm kind of on the other end of it, that is one of my goals, is to help y'all out. And I just love this community. I love the Buy Embroidery Machine community. I can't really speak for the other brands out there because I've only ever worked with Buy, and that's mainly because they're just so affordable. And through that, I have really gotten to know some of the team from Buy. I speak to them regularly, you guys. They're like my friends. So, and I love them dearly. So I look forward to like maybe meeting them one day. I don't think I'm going to be planning any trips to China, but you know, when they come here for the conventions and stuff, I do plan on trying to get up to Atlanta or just, I don't know, somewhere. So next time they come through, I'd love to meet them. But let's see here. I'm just trying to get in work mode here, figure out what hoop I'm going to use for this baby blanket today. But yes, so please just let me know, and I'm gonna get started. So I just went ahead and put a tearaway, just a scrap piece of tearaway. Again, when we're talking about profit, this is a scrap piece of stabilizer that I normally, or like most people, some people maybe would normally throw away. I don't, I like, you know, I'm frugal. I'm going to keep whatever. I'm going to keep it all. I'm going to reuse. I'm going to, because that just, it all helps more of this become profit. And so that's me. And sorry, I got a pin in my mouth. It may not be worth it to you to save every little piece of scrap. And I mean, I don't save every little, like this is just gonna go in the trash. I don't say every single little piece of scrap, but anything of a substantial size, especially for my 5.5 by 5.5 Mighty Hoop, by far my favorite hoop, probably one of the ones I use the most. I'm gonna be saving scraps for that. So anyways, a scrap piece of stabilizer. I spritz it with my spray and bond just to kind of help hold everything in. Sometimes I float, sometimes I don't. I have a video of me floating a towel, and I've gotten a lot of comments from people being like, well, why did you do that? Wouldn't it have been easier just to hoop the towel? Yes, maybe, but the video was about floating. Like that, I was trying to teach y'all how to float, so that was kind of like the point. Also, I sometimes, because I'm placing scrap pieces, like for instance, if I wanted to save a piece of small, I could, if I say I had more than one of this blanket, that piece of scrap fits. So like I could just embroider. If I had floated, I would embroider, take the blanket off, tape in a piece of scrap, and then embroider again. So it's saving time because I don't have to rehoop it every single time. I would just pin a new, tape a piece of scrap in, pin a new towel in, blanket in, whatever. But that's if you're doing multiples. And I get that if you're just doing one, that does not make sense. I get that. But anyways, I digress. So I took this off because I basically know I want it right above that bow. You could have left it on. I want to make sure it fits too. It is kind of close here and here, so I'm not sure if the preset for this hoop is going to let me embroider it. You know, you got that safety zone that might tell me my design is too big, but because I print, I can see that it's going to fit. So I might just set it to like other and then stitch it out. But anyways, so this is ready to go on the machine. So this is ready. And we are going to see if we're going to go into size. And then I've got presets for the Mighty Hoops, which is the 105 or 105, I think. So we're going to see if it's going to tell me it's too big or not, the design. Yeah. Okay. Can you see that? Okay. So you see how like it's telling me that the design is too big for the 5x5 Mighty Hoop, and that is just because of the parameters that we have set. We have that 30 millimeter like safety zone for around the edge, just to kind of protect our needle and protect things from breaking. But you know, I like to push limits here, so we are gonna. I'm just gonna go ahead and set it for the 10x10 hoop. You could also just set it to other. Okay, but then keep in mind that this is not the right hoop for it, so it's going to tell you it can embroider all the way out here. Obviously, it cannot. Just keep that in mind. But we're going to configure my design. Wait, I think it's just 90 degrees. Nope, sorry, it was 180. Okay, so we're going to configure the design to be upside down. I have my printout, so I obviously see. Like, that's a trigger for my brain to be like, yes, remember to turn your design. Okay. I just heard the truck, so I'm pretty sure my kiddos are going to be home. I got to get this centered, and then we can stitch this out. Yep. They're home. It's going to get loud. Told y'all I was running out of time. Okay. Okay, so I pulled it down halfway just to kind of see if I needed to pull up real quick, but it looks like it's gonna fit. I'm gonna go ahead, pull it down all the way, and as you can see, okay, so where it's hitting a little tiny bit is in that corner. That's because that's why we have that safety zone. It's gonna protect you from hitting, okay, in those corners. But because I have the printout, I know it's not gonna stitch there in that corner. It's why it's tracing all the way down there is because it's just doing a square based off of the lowest point, which is this Y over there, and so that's why. But it will fit just fine. So we're gonna pick our color, which I've got it on number 1, which it would have stitched number 1 anyways, but you know, as good measure, we're gonna make sure. Oh, you know what? Real quick, I've got a scrap piece of water soluble. This is a minky fabric, not super plush, but because it does have that softer element, I'm just gonna slip, I'm not even gonna pin it in, I'm just gonna slip a piece of water soluble. I happen to have a scrap right here, just as a safety precaution. We wanna make sure everything stitches out nice and clean. Okay, so while this is going ahead and stitching out real quick, I did want to just mention to y'all that I have been using, probably for the last couple of months, I have been using the embroidery thread from Richwood, from By, and I absolutely love it. I've noticed a huge improvement. It just runs so much smoother in my machines, and I'm not getting as many thread breaks and all of that. And as like I had mentioned before, like I talk to the team at By all of the time, and one of the things that they have informed me of is this huge sale that they have going on right now for the first 500 customers that are buying a new embroidery machine. You're going to get these coupons for getting all of this free supplies, extra supplies, and then also like a 10% discount on buying some of these supplies that they have been working so hard on. And I will say from personal experience, from when I first bought my first machine till now, I have noticed a huge improvement in the quality of the thread and the stabilizers that they are offering. So I would definitely strongly suggest that for y'all. So if you are interested in getting a By embroidery machine and you've been looking at them for a while, now would be a great time to jump in and take advantage of those coupons and this sale that they have going on. And then also use that link in my description below and you can get $100 off of your embroidery machine. So I hope if you have been looking at these for a while, I hope that you would take advantage of that and check that out. Did I mention that I used the tearaway for blankets? I'm not sure if I mentioned that. So we're just gonna tear this out. I already took the water soluble. I can clean that up in a minute. Usually I wouldn't do the side with the tag. We'll leave that up to the client whether they want to cut that off or not. But since this fabric was obviously directional, that's why we went with that corner with the tag. But anyways, that was very quick and easy. And then I will just snap, I will fold it all pretty and then just snap a nice picture of it finished for my client. And then I will send it to them and tell them that it is ready for pickup. And then I've also got these thank you bags that I got from Amazon, and I just stick, especially if it's going in the pickup box. This just keeps everything nice and clean and organized. And then I will put, sometimes if I have more than one order that I know is getting picked up on a certain day, I will put a card in there with the client's name on it. So anyway, so that's ready to go. And I know it like that is just like a quick $15 job, but those $15 jobs, I promise you, they add up, and that didn't take me hardly any time. And then if you've got a few of these orders lined up in one day, then you know that can add up. And it's just they're just nice, quick, easy stitch outs. So I hope sorry. I hope that this was a little bit helpful for you and just like a window into how I run my business. And please let me know in the comments below what you guys want to know me to go into more detail for y'all. I just, sometimes I feel like an imposter. Like I'm just figuring this out as I go. But I do have a more simple approach, and I'm not, I know like sometimes I watch other creators on YouTube and they have got it going on. They're like shipping out hundreds of orders every day, and I love that for them. But that's just not my story. That's not where I'm at right now. And I know that I can't be the only one whose journey looks a little bit different. So I wanted to share you guys my journey. But I will be working on. I have a whole scratch pad full of ideas of different things. Basically what I talked about here, but I think I'm going to go into a little bit more detail into some of them for y'all. So thank you guys for following along with me today. And please let me know what you guys have for just comments and suggestions. I would love to be able to bring you guys content that's going to be exactly what you're looking for. So thank you guys again. I will see you guys in the next video.